it's flow, and this is my impression of a beat poet. Name your price. A tool, an idea, an inspiration to do more than just say what you want to pay. Oh no, but to see the options that could fit your budget. Steve, enough bongos.
Find car insurance that fits your budget at Progressive.com.
Makes me want to dance. Steve!
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Blog Talk Radio.
Thank you for tuning in to Awakening to Natural Wellness. I am your host, Katina Love. We are doing a series on spirit, consciousness, and holistic healing, and this is part 12. If you desire to share your journey to higher consciousness and your life's purpose on the show, please contact me, Katina Love, on Facebook. There is a wave of conscious awakenings sweeping our planet as people of all walks of life tune in to this higher vibration of thought, experience, and beingness. Today's special guest, Hillis Pugh, author, inspirational writer, intuitive consultant, psychic medium, entrepreneur, and philanthropist. Hillis will share his journey to higher consciousness and what led him through his life's purpose. Thank you for tuning in. Hillis, thank you for being on the show today. How are you?
I'm wonderful, Katina. Thank you for having me on your show today. Feels
awesome.
Amazing to just be here.
Yeah, I'm so excited to connect with you and have you on the show today.
Yes, likewise, definitely.
Awesome. So I want to start out by asking you, when you hear the words spirit, consciousness, and holistic healing, what does that mean to you?
Well, to me, they're two different things. When I hear spirit consciousness, I think of our connection to our higher self, to the divine parent that is speaking through us and to us, guiding us on the path that we've chosen to lift our vibrations, to become more aware of self and to become awakened to our fullest potential here in this human body. And when I hear holistic healing, it just reminds me of how we nurture ourselves, not just spiritually or physically or mentally. It's a combination of those coming together, and how we can best nourish our whole self and be complete in loving and nurturing ourselves. And then once we know how to take care of ourselves, we can take that knowledge and then pass it on to others.
Absolutely. Totally agree with that. So what started you on your spiritual journey? What started you to higher consciousness? What led you to your path?
You know, that is something I've always asked myself. What was the pebble? What was the particle of dust, you say, that started me on this path? And there were many defining moments as a child growing up and being witness to, the religions and everyone's life and how they lived, and not just, having a faith, but living by what you say and how you act. And it has a lot to do with who you become later as an individual. But what really was the turning point, the marker in my life was back in 2008, the year prior, actually 2007, when I was going through a lot of things in my life, having a business, and then, the recession hit and not really, having the means to survive that. And then just, with the relationships issues and just a lot of things going on in my life, once one thing happens, something else happens, like a huge snowball effect. And not really knowing who to turn to or where to turn, I just released what I need to release and trusted in my family and in my friends. and their support to get me through that really tough year of having to endure many situations that allowed me to have gratitude in my life and sharing that gratitude with my friends and with my family. And out of that experience, came my book titled Thank You Thursday. And with that, I express how each and every day there's something to be grateful for, no matter how small it may be. There's always something in our lives to appreciate.
Absolutely. I'm totally there with you on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gratitude is so very important. And I looked at your website, HillisPugh.com, HillispUGH.com. And I looked at your poems, and they're so inspirational. And I like how you have the different categories there that one can go through. No matter what the person is dealing with, they can go and look at your poems and look at your blogs, and they're very uplifting. So can you tell us what inspired you to do the poems and to write your book and
sure,
how that? Okay.
And what inspired me to write was to share my personal experience. And I've always felt, as long as I can remember, that I've always been a writer. And any writer that I've ever met always has a story to tell, whether if it's their personal story or if it's a story of someone that they know. And what I have done, especially with my poetry, because I'm a poet first, writer second, is through my poetry, I've always expressed and shared my story in that manner. And anyone who has read any of my poetry, they will have a peek into my personal life and what I've experienced. And the main reason why I write is to let others know that they are not in this by themselves. Because for so long, especially growing up as a teenager, that's when I was doing a lot of introspective work, was that, as a teenager, most of us felt that, no one understood us and no one got us and no one was really there to provide us with that guidance. And we always felt alone. And it was my personal choice that my reason to write was to let everyone else know that they are not in this alone, that there are other people with them experience similar sensations, if not exact.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So can you share with us who influenced you the most on your spiritual journey? Like some of the people that some of your teachers that helped you along the way?
Definitely. Not that I know any of them personally, but it's like most of us, we stalk them from afar. Definitely a few. Definitely a few that inspired me and influenced me is Dr. Michael Beckwith. I really love his demeanor and his presence, his calmness, in which he translates and the words that are coming through him. Definitely. Another one is Neil Donald Walsh, and how his story of manifesting a new life inspired me for sure, especially with his collection of books, Conversations with God. Definitely inspired a different type of manifestation, how you can really look at your life and from another point of view and allowing yourself to be in that place and then saying, okay, this isn't all there is. There's definitely a lot more to what this thing, this life that we've created. And for sure, Abraham Hicks, definitely love them because of the truth that they speak, no matter how real it is. Because most of us, and I know myself at times, it's at times difficult to understand the reality in which we create, but no matter what it is, they speak the truth. And that's what I admire about it, is that no matter this entity being channeled through this woman, is telling it like it is. It's like, okay, there's no sugarcoating anything. This is it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's amazing how much we have in common because I reached out to you on Facebook because of all the inspirational things that you post and what you're doing to help to uplift humanity. And we have that very same thing in common. And I follow the same people that you follow. all the names that you just mentioned are the same people that I am learning from as well, and especially Abraham Hicks. I came across Abraham Hicks and Esther Hicks about a year ago, and it's just like you were saying, amazing how much that resonates. It's just like totally like 100% resonates with me and my spirit. And I can totally relate to, this collective consciousness and what they're saying. And it's truly amazing how much I've grown. I started on my journey, like you were saying, the pebble moment for me was back in like 2008, 2009. And I've been on this journey, but it's just amazing. It's like the more you learn, the more you continue to learn. And Abraham Hicks is definitely a turning point for me. I tell people I wake up with Abraham Hicks and I go to bed with Abraham Hicks. Especially, there's no other way, especially getting into the vortex meditation.
Mm-hmm.
There's like 4 or 5 meditations on there. It's like well-being, finance, relationships, a couple other ones. But they are very, very helpful in helping us on this conscious walk, on this journey. And I know, like right now, a lot of us are experiencing different things with the energies that are coming in, and the more we grow spiritually, it's like the more sensitive. I don't know about you, but I'm like sensitive to energies. I pick up on energies, other people's energies, and I just try to do the best I can to stay in the vortex, as Abraham says, and to stay in alignment, and and all these energies that are coming in, Abraham is definitely helping me to stay balanced. And it's just, the spiritual journey is just beautiful. I love it. And I'm meeting people like you and just so many of us light workers who are coming together and becoming aware of one another. Because sometimes, I hear from some people how it can be a lonely journey, but it's not supposed to be.
No,
because we're all here with each other and here for each other, and connecting. And so, like you were saying before, no one is alone. We're all in this together. Such a beautiful thing.
And I definitely want to say that in terms of the consciousness and the light workers out there that are doing all the work, and those who are listening and now and may listen to this later, is that as we as a collective become more aware of the energies that are within us, that are coming out of us and through us and that surrounds us each and every day, we have to understand that, yes, in the beginning it's maybe a little bit challenging because it's something new to us and what we have to work through to understand it. And I say to those listening now and may listen to this later, is that trust yourself, trust your intuition, trust the guidance that speaks to you, because that will never steer you wrong. Because once we have that innate ability to trust, and when I say trust, I know there are times when things happen and we go through that shoulda, coulda, woulda moment, then don't beat yourself up, because that's helping you to trust, to build that trust of yourself and what is going on around you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So can you share with us the services that you offer as an intuitive consultant and as a psychic medium?
Sure can. I know earlier you mentioned earlier how you said that if you wasn't sure about me, but if I am sensitive and yes, it comes with the territory of being intuitive and being a psychic medium. You can't help but to feel at times, and
right.
This started years and years ago. There was a moment I'm gonna share with everyone when I tell about my story, but I mean my services. There was a moment when I wasn't aware of what was going on, didn't know what was this change and this sensitivity that was happening, and I was beginning to hear other people's thoughts and pick up on other people's energies, and I said to myself, I was like, I'm not ready for this. I want to just turn this off. Because there were times I would walk down the street. Yeah, I mean, because it got to a point where somebody walked past and it's like, what was that? It's like, was that me? Was that them? What's going on?
I know.
And be careful what you wish for, because I asked for it to be turned off, and it was turned off for quite a long time.
Wow.
Yeah, because I wasn't ready to hear and pick up on other people's energies and feelings at that time. And I was like, this is just too much. And as I got older and developed more, went to class to really help develop my psychic abilities and my intuitive abilities, then I was able to think, okay, I can trust this. I know the difference between me and somebody else. I know what I can allow in and what I can't allow. So it's like, before I didn't have control over it. It was just all willy-nilly and it just happened. Now it's like, now it's like I'm at the driver's seat and in the back seat, But the services I offer, your basic psychic mediumship, where I am able to hear, because I am more clairaudient than clairvoyant. I'm able to hear messages for loved ones, from their loved ones or their spirit guides or guardians, to offer them the advice they desire. And it's just really a path. It's not for me foretelling the future. It's me just listening to what spirit gives me for them. It could be something that's in the future, but I don't think of it that way. I think of it as everything is happening at once, and I'm just able to tap into that energy for that person to see what's already happened, if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally makes sense.
Because the future has many potentials, and if everything is conditional, like if we do A, then A will happen, and if we choose B, then B will happen. It's like a what-if book. If you ever had one of those as a kid, I used to love those what-if books. Like you would read this, and it's like, well, if you want Jane to go to the prom, then turn to page 46. If you want Jane to stay home, then turn to page 54, So for what the work that I do is a lot of intuitive healing, and to give people the choice of their life and their life's path, and to give them clarity is what I really love the most, is to offer that person clarity and healing for their life.
Awesome. So you're located in Brooklyn, New York?
I am, and I've been here for almost 3 years, and I love it. It reminds me of my old
awesome.
home.
Great. That is awesome. So you're originally from, is it Illinois?
Yes, originally from Chicago.
Awesome. That's great. So how would someone reach you if they wanted to get a reading, use your services, get guidance? Do you have a place in Brooklyn that people would come to? And do you
I don't have
distant?
I don't have a
Go
studio
ahead.
as of yet, but I
Mhm.
do. We would meet at the person's place of residence, or find a mutual place
Mhm.
to meet. I mean, there are several. There are options here in New York. If someone wants to meet up in public, there's a studio called Breather, where people can meet up there and have a quiet place to meet and talk. There, I also have done distant work via Facebook messaging. I've
Mhm.
also done some phone work as well. So whatever the need calls for, I am available for that. Because my ultimate goal is to give that person the advice, the healing, and clarity that they ask for, that they need to continue to move forward in their life's path.
Absolutely. And I like that you talk with people via over the phone. I think that's wonderful. It doesn't matter where a person is located. They can be right there in Brooklyn, or they can be in Alaska or Dubai or anywhere.
Indeed, I've talked
That's
to
great.
people in New Zealand, so it's interesting especially with the time difference. What time is it there? Okay, let's meet at this
Right.
time.
Awesome. That is really great. So, is there anything else that you want to share? Would you like to share any, like, people that you've worked with, who you've done counseling with, who have come back to you and said, you've really helped me out and you helped me through this situation? Is there anything that stands out to you that you want to share?
There are actually two that I would like to share with you. The first
Mhm.
one was definitely with someone more recent, and me, I typically, after I do a consult or a reading with someone, I just like to follow up with them, see how things were moving, and see how things were progressing. And it was
Mhm.
this young lady whose energy was just amazing, just happy-go-lucky, but I could tell that there was a
Wow.
lot weighing in her life. And
Mhm.
her grandmother came through and was sitting right next to me where we went to meet,
Wow.
and
Mhm.
she was just giving me all the information, everything that her granddaughter needed to hear to help lift her
Mhm.
up and move her in a better direction within her life. And the energy was so high, the vibration and love and admiration for her granddaughter from
Mhm.
her was simply amazing. And when I, sent her a text message, just to say, hey, how are things going? She's like, things are going amazing, things are going great. That was the best advice I've ever had. And she told me that she's been to other mediums before. It's like, just
Mhm.
nothing like this. So she said it
Wow.
was definitely a one-of-a-kind experience for her. And so I was really
That's
elated
powerful.
to hear the
Mhm.
joy and the healing she received from that.
That
And
is
then
amazing.
it was, just to feel the energy. And then the other
Mhm.
instance I'd like to share with your audience is from my writings. And I am a contributor to the Spirit Library, which is all things spiritual. If you ever want to find out or read anything from, you know, spiritual writers such as myself or other entities like Abraham Hicks, like Cryon or Neil Donald
Mhm.
Walsh, there it's like a wealth of spiritual knowledge from this website.
Mhm.
And so
That is
one,
awesome.
it is. I love the people being who created the website, and they just keep manifesting more and more people to come and contribute. But what I love is
Wow.
how open it is. But there was
Mhm.
one entry in particular that I wrote for Thursday, because Thank You Thursday blog is released, was on a weekly basis. Now it's on a as feel basis, if that makes sense. But this one
Mhm.
particular day, this lady sent me a loving email, and I can't recall what the entry was, and I can't recall her name at the time. But she sent me a loving email saying, Hillis, thank you so very much for this entry today because I was suicidal. but reading what you wrote today helped me to change my view on life and continue to move forward and live. I'm like, and I boo-hooed for days after that. I cried.
Oh, my God. That is
and
amazing.
that's the main reason why I write, because you never know who has to hear your message that day. You never know. Somebody could change somebody's life, literally.
Yes. That is the ultimate way to give service. The ultimate way to give service.
Yes.
That is just truly amazing. You know, you're right. You never know who is reaching out, who needs to be soothed, who needs to hear a calming word, who needs to hear that everything's going to be all right, who needs to hear that, wait a minute, you can look at this another way, and to show people that God, that source energy, cares for them, like unconditionally, and even more than we care for ourselves. So it's just a matter of getting to that place of self-love where we just love and adore ourselves the way God does. That's very powerful.
You know, that was one of my, I guess you could say, mantras in the beginning of my journey, you know, many, 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 many years ago, was that I always said, I want to love myself the way that God loves me.
Yes.
And I think once you say that enough and you believe it, and then it just kind of resonates. I mean, because you will start doing things and start treating yourself better. I mean, and it's on an unconscious level, but when you become aware of the steps you've taken, it makes so much more of a difference.
That is just amazing. Truly amazing. So can you share how to get in touch with you?
Your readers, not your readers, your listeners, and those who listen now and later can get in touch with me through my website, and they can find out all things about me there, you know, through email and all social media, and that's HillisPugh.com, and that is HillisPugh.com. And there they can contact me there through emails, or if they want to, you know, stalk me on Facebook or anywhere else, they can do that as well.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I'm glad that you are available on Facebook. It's such an easy way to reach out to you and see some of the things that you post and see how you've helped others, see what you're about. And I just love Facebook. It's all being used for good.
Yes, exactly. Because it is. I mean, and that's one thing I like about social media. You can be as vulnerable as you choose to be, and you can show what you want to see. I mean, it's just a level of a different kind of connection in what you allow.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So your book, how can they get the book if they want it? Is it an ebook version? Is it printed if they want it printed? Is that available too, or how can they get your book?
There are two ways. You can go to Amazon.com and order the hard copy, which is the link is on my website for that as well, or they can also download the e-version through Amazon. They can also go to Smashwords, which is on my Thank You Thursday page. They can go there and download the ebook that way. So there are two ways that they can get the book.
Awesome. Beautiful. Is there anything else that you'd like to share?
Yes. Just would like to let your audience know to always remember to trust their intuitions and to know that there's always something to be grateful for each and every day.
Absolutely. Are you scheduled for any events anywhere in the Brooklyn area or anywhere else?
Not as of yet, but I am planning after June. I'm not sure of any dates yet, but I am putting together a seminar, a gratitude seminar, for other people to come and to get a better understanding of what gratitude really is, and to share my personal journey with them and how I arrived here at this place of gratitude and appreciation.
Awesome. Beautiful. Thank you for being our guest today on the show.
Thank you for having me. No, so that they can just find out. They can just go to my website or my Facebook pages and find out any upcoming details about any events.
Okay, wonderful. Great. Thank you for being on the show today, Hillis. Thank you for tuning in to Awakening to Natural Wellness. I'm your host, Katina Shaw. Namaste.
When you don't go to Geico.com, car insurance can seem intense. Like breakup R&B intense.
I thought you said you loved the sweater that I got you. If you didn't, you could have told me.
Geico makes it easy. Just go to Geico.com anytime to update or check your policy without all the extra drama.
I even had a gift